in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. And if you wanna be a chef, then I say cook it up. And if you wanna be the champ, well I say hook it up. Cause I can never tell you what you can't be. Yes, I can see a failure is something you can't be. Plus, I get you a shuttle if you feel that you need space. The sky's the limit, get you wings for your birthday. Whatever makes you happy, if you like it, then I love it. Turning nothing into something, I'm all in and I ain't bluffing. I'm who you got when the world ain't got your back, man. I pull over when life puts you in the fast lane. I'm in your corner like Bandini, if you tumble, I'd tell you like him. Rumble, young man, rumble, see. Some women go cause I ain't make them happiest. But who am I to impede on somebody's happiness? I guess I learned a lot by going with the flow of things. You fight the current like salmon, we die and go insane. That's why I stay up in my lane, just be a lyricist. And yes, I'm multifaceted, but not omnipotent. And what I do know is we all gon' have a path to take. And I won't be the one that's standing in somebody's way. There ain't no perfect life or perfect way to get success. But there's a perfect way to take the time to be yourself. And you gon' find it when you find it, ain't no rushing that. Too many get running this rat race, how many gon' just relax? Your life ain't just about money, Jesus ain't die rich. Neither did Martin Luther, Gandhi, or Malcolm X. And one say life gon' constantly change, so don't get stuck in one space, you won't be open for things. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. You see the title, you know what I'm saying? If you see the thumbnail, shout out to Dr. Tia Son Johnson and BGS. I just kind of did this sporadically, and then I saw that it was on, so this is no disrespect at all. Like yesterday, I think I'm driving to work, I believe. Either driving to work or coming home from work. And what I see is what I wound up hearing on the radio, because I don't really listen to the radio, you know, is the guy talking about relationships and modern relationships, and they're quoting this guy. We're not quoting him, but they used his post. He put a post up. And the post basically just, you know, men back in the day were cheating and having side families, and your grandmothers wasn't really happy. You know, that's why they had separate bedrooms, because she didn't respect him. And, you know, women didn't get bank accounts to 1974. So, you know, your grandmother was never really happy. She just was forced to be married to your granddad, and it really wasn't a loving family situation or whatever. So, you know, let's just implement and say that's why the women don't really like the men or respect the men, blah, blah, blah. And he used that as his like overlay to say why relationships are where they are right now. Forgot his name. Sorry about that. I would have used the clip if I could have remembered his name. But what happened is they put the clip out, and then somebody, you know, then people was able to call in and say their piece and say their opinion. And what happened was one of the guys was like, listen, I know we all love our grandmothers and the people in my grandmother's era, but the women out here ain't our grandmothers. So you know, I could understand what you're saying about the men back in the day and all that other stuff, but stop trying to compare them women to these women now. You know, he got on you know, a red pill kick. Let's just say it that way, because he started spewing stuff that has been said online, and this happened like maybe, I don't know, maybe a day after. Shout out to Edward Anderson. I was talking to Edward on the phone, and we was having this conversation. I said I thought I might do a video about it. That there's so many guys on social media, in social media, who are effeminate, and their whole approach to manhood, relationships, men's roles, masculinity, right and wrong, is effeminate. They talk effeminate. They're and and Edward said something that was pretty dope. He was like, yeah, that mentally they're women, so they talk like women. And what I see in our society is, and that's why I have the thumbnail like the New Age Misandry, is what you have is a bunch of guys, grown to young, to young adults who they just have female talking points about everything. And the way they communicate is feminine. And why I have to say this to preface this, I call it New Age Misandry because they're just a dummy. They sound like a black feminist talking point. So they just as a comedian or ventriloquist, they have a dummy, and they move the dummy's mouth, but it's them talking. So what winds up happening is these guys just come off like, you know, um, a male with a female hand up his behind, telling them what, making him speak. And the reason I said it is because I've heard this pandering so much that it's like, bro, okay, I get it. You're a man hater. You don't like men. For and the problem with that is, one of the problems is when people make up this story that, oh, the men back in the day were this, that, and the third. I'm not. It's like it's one sided, and it's a fantasy. I'm not gonna say men didn't cheat on their wives back then. I'm not gonna say men didn't have, a family across town. Those things happen. I'm not gonna say men didn't have Rolling Stones, but we're gonna just skip the whole other part of it, right? And I ain't even talking about bad women. So you're not gonna talk about the men who took care of multiple families, one that was theirs and one that really wasn't, or took care of multiple people. You get what I'm saying? Took care of multiple kids. You're not gonna talk about the men who got cheated on. You're not gonna talk about those guys. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna talk about the guys who how can I say this? Who, when women didn't have a bank account, women always had money because they had jobs. People forget, the old story of grandma's pulling a pocket, what is it, a change purse, or out of her bra, or something, or stuff like that, or having a pocket full of money in her purse, and people having money under the mattress. These and people act like guys didn't give their money to their wives. You get what I'm saying? So we have this one-sided man hating conversation and argument. So once you have that, I already know you on some BS. And the reason I can say I already know you on some BS is because what really happens at that point is, you know, you guys don't want to hear it, but y'all not really talking about your own family. This is not a personal experience. This is a made up experience, that you got from anecdotal stories and TV shows and movies. You can't even say in your own family, my granddad was cheating on my grandma. Y'all can't even say that. And I'm in my mid 40s, so I get, there are people who got a granddad around. My grandfather's actually, hey, I just thought about that. All my grandparents are dead. Um, Dang, yeah, that sucks. But Some of y'all not talking about y'all own grandparents because y'all all your own grandparents ain't them people from back in that day. Your grandparents was dating in the 80s and 90s. Y'all trying to talk about people's grandparents who was in the 70s and 60s. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. So that's the first issue, like I said, with this new age misandry. It's a lot of these feminist talking points and tropes are really fantasies that are not real. Not real to the people that are spewing, that are speaking. So it's like, okay, so now all men were bad, all women were good. I get your rhetoric. Is that true? No, but you're gonna keep saying it. Fine. Then I have to, listen to some of this stuff and I go, oh, okay. So let me get this right. By your logic, because I've seen this play before. Since all men that you name are bad, and you make up all of these bad guys, and let me guess, you're the good guy, right? You're not like all of these made up black men that you made up from back in whenever, because you're gonna go from the 60s and 70s to, dead, not even deadbeat, to constant cheater, abusive man, having multiple families, that thing. Then you're gonna go to the 80s and you're gonna go, deadbeat dad who don't care. And then you're gonna go to the 90s and go, Pookie and Ray Ray, gangster thug love, yada yada yada, right? So every era, every decade has its own stereotype of just bad men. But let me guess, you're the good guy. That's never gonna be like, you're never gonna be like, you know, the 60s and 70s made up granddad that you talked about, or the 80s deadbeat dad and deadbeat man that you talked about, or the 90s, thuggish, ruggish guy that you talked about that was, out here just dope dealing and gang. I get it. You're not all of that. So what are you? I was had. So what are you? You get what I mean? You're the exception to the rule. I went to school. I got an education, and I got a degree in pontificating and making up dumb stories. It's like, oh, okay. So guys in the 60s and 70s didn't get an education. Guys in the 80s didn't get an education. Guys in the 90s didn't get an education. Guys in 2000s didn't get an education. Oh, okay. You're educated. So all of a sudden you're an anomaly. Okay. I'm not abusive. You're not abusive. Congratulations. So guys in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, there aren't any guys who weren't abused. Okay. Oh, they were, I'm faithful. Oh, okay. That's nice. So you telling me guys in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they were black men who just weren't faithful. All right. All right. Because you're different. Cool. I'm responsible. Oh, okay, you're responsible. So now you're gonna tell me there's guys in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, who were who weren't responsible. Oh, okay, this is what we're doing today. So, and it's all at the, I love women. Okay, fine. So since y'all so smart, y'all know so much, and the guys were so bad, and the women were so in the black community, so downtrodden and beat upon. Answer me this question: how come there's so many women from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s who can tell you that are female, who can tell you that their family was looking out for them? The family, the family, daddy, paid for my college in the 60s, 70s, 80s when it was affordable. Oh, oh, you forgot about that. The family took care of the kids. You forgot about that. That includes the old mean black man that is considered the granddad. Y'all forgot about that, right? You see how this goes. Oh, they're so bad, they're so this, they're so that, but So now women are smart and they're getting an education. And you didn't say who paid for the education. Oh, you thought it was always, uh, she got financial aid. No, 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 no. Even when the girls was in college. What about the girls who wasn't living on campus? Who was paying their rent? Oh, oh, the girls that wanted to get that shopped all the time. Who was giving them money to shop? Oh, okay. The girls that had a car. Who bought them the car? Oh, the women, the girls who was in college and became adults, and they was still getting their rent paid. Oh, we don't talk about them people because what about the evil? No, that was the mama doing that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No. Since we're gonna play this new age misandry, you know, that's why nowadays, you know, that's one of the knocks against marriage nowadays. Because who's supposed to pay for the wedding? The father. But since everybody said, fathers aren't involved, fathers ain't in the house, that's part of the reason y'all ain't getting married. Because your family ain't responsible for nothing. Funny how your mama can't pay for the wedding. Grandma can't pay for the wedding. Auntie can't pay for the wedding. Sister can't pay for the wedding. And even when dad's dead and dad left you money to do it. But this becomes the issue. Because this new age misandry where you a ventriloquist for, bitter feminists, the story you telling ain't really it's not a whole story at that. And it's not a true story. So now we got issues. Now we got issues. So you guys out here who go, oh, let me get into that part of it. I could say it's more, but there's predominantly two types of guys who are the, who are the dummies for feminists. There are guys who are lying through their teeth and pandering because they know it pays. And there are guys who are really just, was raised by their mama, their sisters, all female cats and dogs. So all they know, so their whole life is a feminine point of view. And the problem with that is it's arrogant because here's the problem, with a lot of feminists. They don't admit when they're wrong. They don't say, "Oh, I'm not right. I was wrong for that." See, and this is what I mean. These same people that make up these stories uh, about who men were in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, who probably, like I said before, their grandparents was probably in the actual 90s. That's when their grandparents wasn't in the 60s and 70s. Just, some of these, or maybe the 80s, but it wasn't 60s and 70s people. Some of y'all grandparents didn't go through Jim Crow. I know mine did, but the group of people that are talking now, I don't think most of your grandparents went through Jim Crow. Y'all grandparents might have went through the crack era, but not Jim Crow. Um, but getting to what I was getting at about this misandry, we start to have a major problem since you know, you don't look at the other things that was happening at the same time as your fantasy belief. See, what about the documentary they had in the 80s about single motherhood in the black community that was in like New Jersey, I want to say. Oh, all of a sudden you went 60s, 70s. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't know that even in the 80s they were young, parents who were teenagers, teenage pregnancy, and the girls didn't want to be married to the boys. They didn't want to live in the same household. They wanted to do it their way. They wanted to do it, the quote unquote government benefit way. That's what they wanted to do. But you skipped that part, right? because that was going from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. And people even say it's existing now. I mean, there's still Section 8 now, but you know what I'm saying? People paying, cheap rent and they keep having kids. But that ain't working like it used to. The economy, stuff costs too much. But you got these guys out here who, oh, they didn't see that. And the reason why I just use that as an example, it's because of this thing. Since we're gonna get into these relationship discussions and oh, these guys are misogynist, we say, these feminists are misandrous. We now get into this part of it. Where is, there's proof that there are men out here who don't like women, who hate women. There's proof that there are guys out here doing scandalous stuff with women. I've seen the news stories even recent. But the problem is, y'all don't do that type of stuff. Y'all don't post that type of stuff and use it as an example. And I know why you don't, because it ain't as it isn't as prevalent as all the stories that we can obviously men can go, okay, women are doing this. I mean, people yesterday was just talking about the lady who was taking her kids, asking her child for his birthday money to pay her bills while she been spending money frivolous. That's just one story. Let me double back because people get on men. What was it, a week, 2 weeks ago when a young lady, kids passed away in Detroit? Two kids passed away, in a casino park, well, at the hospital, and people got on the dad. People called the guy deadbeat, and he needs to be there for his kids, and yada yada yada. And right after that, they got on the dad, but then the mother got caught, twerking it up and dancing on social media right after her kids died. All them people that was talking bad about the dad, you didn't hear him. They tried to basically hide what she was doing. People, let's just sweep that under the rug. So, so I get it. So now we have that issue, but you guys don't want to have that type of what's happening. You guys don't want to have that type of conversation, because ultimately, like I said, feminists, are your speaker, and you're just a dummy that they move in their mouth. Because if you want to use, you can. This is a social media age. You can use things that happen in every day to prove your point. If you think black men are abusive, you should be able to find abusive stories of black men all over social media. If you think black men are irresponsible, you should be able to find those stories on social media. If black men are deadbeats, you should be able to find that. You know what I'm saying? If black men are thieves and stealing women's money and oppressing women, you should be able to find that. And I'm sure, and like I said, I know there's stories out there, but here's the problem. At this rate, it's like, I'll be generous. For every one story you can find about to make a black man look bad, there's 5 about black women. So people not buying it like they used to. They're not buying it. So now, you gotta do what you gotta do. And the other thing is that excuse me. The other thing is just a matter of perspective. Just like, recently people were talking about Kendra G when she was on Tamron Hall's show. And Tamron Hall, it's been known for years. Tamron Hall just don't like black men. I don't mean as far as dating. She had a class thing where if you ain't on her level, she don't want to talk to you. And if you black and not rich, she looked down on you. That's been a thing. But even her, because she's a different age than Kendrick G, I think she's like maybe 10 to 15 years older than her. She's like, hey man, you supposed to upkeep yourself. You're not supposed to meet a man to upkeep you. At least even they have a different dynamic of perspective because they have an age gap and they grew up in different eras. So even the people that you can put out publicly, you know what I'm saying, to champion for women and women's talking points and feminism, and the guys go, "Yeah, that's my," you know what I'm saying? Speak on these evil men. It's like, okay, now even they getting caught up with these shenanigans. So now what are the guys supposed to do? The guys are just supposed to let y'all talk, huh? Just let y'all just denigrate black men at every opportunity. We just supposed to let y'all lie, 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 and lie. And even with the dating show thing, I forgot the one with Ace Metaphor. I forgot the name. Something. I think it's tonight's conversation. I forget. Even with that breakup of that show, it was all based on shenanigans. It was catered to black women. You know, you know, it was ran by a black man who people already knew was pandering prior, and it dissolved because of all of the BS shenanigans. You know that you got these mystery, black men out here. And one of the last things I saw, even with that show, when they had the episode of the girl talking about she was cheating on her husband, and she want him to bring him into the fold so she can have a husband and a side dude, so she can have a polyamorous relationship. And it's like, and they had to shut her down, but she seemed all happy and giddy about it. But once again, you don't see these guys on social media addressing stuff like that. What's that? Like, you don't see people addressing that type of stuff. It's just, oh, whatever, you know, all these isolated. See, when you got men, a lot of you people, like I said, it's New Age Misandry. You like making up stories about black men and ignoring reality, real situations that occur with black women. So who's going to take you serious at a certain point? I'm supposed to believe you, right? Because in 1974, women, let's do the feminist thing. In 1974, women got bank accounts because they couldn't get a bank account without a man or without a husband until 1974. That is very true. That's a fact. That's a fact. But when you do women, you forget one thing. That's 10 years after Jim Crow. What are you talking like? So when you see a lot of this feminist stuff, and this is why I don't like it, is because you love black men are supposed to be the most evil thing. When you deal with feminists, black men are the most evil of the group somehow. Now, the fact that women in general couldn't get bank accounts in 1974, you even feminists won't say, "Hey, that's a white man thing." Yeah, that's definitely a white man thing. No, 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 no. It's not a white man thing. It's men. No, no, you're just trying to include black men on that. Because that's basically, you know, 6 to 9 years after Jim Crow was supposed to be done. You get what I'm saying? So let's just be real. Black women got rights from civil rights, during Jim Crow. White women had rights that black women didn't have in the 60s and even in the 70s and 80s. So you want to play this game where, oh, well, women didn't have bank accounts. So what? Black women were still working in white people's houses, cleaning up the house, getting paid. White wife didn't have a problem with that, did they? Black women were still working jobs, getting underpaid by white people, men and women. Nobody had a problem with that, even though women couldn't have bank accounts. So, so we have this issue. So we have this issue. It's like, okay, so it's the same as when you hear. I hate to say it this way, but it's the same as when you have like immigrants or black people who you say are cooning. You know, they'll address everybody in the world except white people. Is there everybody else is an issue but white people? And when white people do them dirty, it's always a surprise. Look, I don't understand. You are the most civilized and the smartest and the richest, and what happened? It's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Y'all playing games. So when it comes to these stories, like I said, black men become the personification of misogyny. You know, black men had side families. Um, okay, and side kids that they took care of. Watch this. Who was the most famous side kid of the 60s or 70s? Who was the most famous baby daddy that you could think of? I know who. They had a dang on freeway named after him. It was Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond. White racist guy, you know, you can in some ways say one of Joe Biden's mentors. Because he was like his mentor's mentor or whatever. That was the most famous guy. It wasn't, oh man, let me tell you about all them side babies, you know, Isaac Hayes got. No, it wasn't Isaac Hayes, Playboy. It was Strom Thurmond. No, I ain't talking to you, Shark. I'm just saying. But no, we play this game like people don't know. So the part of this, misandry game is when you don't address who the story is really made for. You just blame black men. And since you blame black men for everything, I need to see some receipts, player. Because let's just be completely honest. I know there's a lot of black people right now who found out some things about their family that they wasn't ready for just by taking an ancestry test. Mama's baby, daddy's mate. But guess what? Okay, well, you 49 and dang, I ain't even know that, that really wasn't my daddy. Oh yeah, it's a weird way to find out, ain't it? Like you gotta like people don't take this stuff into consideration with this new age misandry. Nobody apologizes and says stuff like, "Oh, you know what? Um, there's no nice way to say this." There are black men who've been hated because they were bad fathers, and their kid went to their grave hating their dad, only to find out after their dad was dead that that wasn't their dad. Now what? The most recent favorite story people use is Kirk Franklin. But guess what? Because like I said, it's new age misandry. Kirk Franklin ain't gonna say, "Hey man, you know what? Maybe I need to apologize to the guy I thought was my dad's family because I basically threw him. I threw him under the bus for a long time. But let me reel this in for one major reason, and that's why I say the new age misandry and these guys being like dummies, like a feminist. A feminist is a ventriloquist, and they're the dummy. We're gonna have to talk about the major thing that people skip over. There are a lot of one of the things that it's not all, but one of the things about black men who have this feminist ideology that they don't want to talk about. Hey man, I'm West Side all day. What's happening? uh, it's all love. Um, and it's no nice way to say this. A lot of these guys don't want to say they got that chip in them, and sometimes we call it a simp chip or winter soldier chip. But I'm gonna just add what needs to be added to this one at this point. A lot of y'all hate men because y'all think that's gonna make your mama love you. That's what that is. See, a lot of y'all or doing or just y'all reaching for stuff to reaching for a connection with your mama because your mamas don't love you like that. So the only thing you think will work at this point is what? I hate men too, mom. Misery loves company. And you want your mama's love so bad you willing to be miserable. And it ain't just mother, it's just sometimes female love, because sometimes you can't get your mother's love and then you go searching for in other women. The same way y'all would say guys were searching for a woman's love in the bedroom. Y'all are searching for women's love in misandry, in feminism. I hate them too. They're evil too. Da 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 da. And it's like, oh, okay. This is what we doing, huh? Yeah. I need your proof. I need you to love me. I hate these black men, but you're a black man too. But I'm different. Okay. You different. Okay. Okay. This is what we doing. I'm different from all them other men. Oh, because here's what we don't want to say. You found too many stories that are true stories that are verifiable stories of black men who were black fathers and black husbands that were done wrong. It's more than oh, women got cheated on, wives got cheated on. You're right. A wife got cheated on, and depending on the state, because you can add to this, she got cheated on. Okay, and she got the house because she got cheated on. She got the car because she got cheated on. She got the kids because she got cheated on. She got alimony because she got cheated on. She got child support because she got cheated on. And in some states, alimony could last in perpetuity. She got a boyfriend or boyfriends that she had for years, but she ain't trying to marry him because it'll cut off the alimony. So she want him to pay for her life for the rest of her life. But she got cheated on. So 10 years of alimony and keeping a house is not enough. And child support is not enough. Oh, okay. Because she's got great character. No, she don't have great character. She got cheated on, and she showed just how much of a low down scoundrel she could be. Because she got cheated on 10 years ago. And she still collected. Oh, but let's flip the story. She cheated on him, and he caught her, and it's over. Guess what? She got the house. She got the car. She got the kid. She got alimony. She got child support. So it's the same story. So I don't know why y'all believe, oh, all these women are getting done bad. No, because a woman who got done bad in a relationship gets the same deal as a woman that does bad in a relationship. But you people out here who want to be misandrous and man haters, y'all don't want to talk about that part. Oh, is that wrong? Is that a character flaw? Is that a lack of integrity? Is that a horrible human being? Or is that just, she got to get her money. She got to get the bag because 1974, women didn't have bank accounts. That's the best you got? Because in 1962, a man had a family and a side family. When did you see that? Well, it was known that the men had a family and a side family. Oh, I know when you saw that. When I see it, you was watching Which Way's Up. Which Way's Up? It's an old Richard Pryor movie where he was the husband and the pastor. The wife was sleeping with the pastor, and he was sleeping with his side chick, and he was taking care of both families. Yeah. That's Which Way's Up. I know the movie. I remember the movie. And he played the grandfather that was in the house. That was a 70s movie. But, let's just do the man hate part. See, because when we get to this feminists and feminism ideology, these guys don't say the other part. And I gotta say it to y'all. How is it that you guys, you have all these talking points about men, but and if I use a stereotype, y'all been around women your whole life. You trying to tell me you ain't seen a women in your life do nothing foul? Because I guarantee you that's a lie. You ain't see your mama lie from people. You ain't see your mama cheat people out of stuff. Oh, you ain't see your sisters or your aunts do that type of stuff. Oh, you lying. You lying because because here's where we gotta go with this. It's always this thing where the reason why she did that was because a man somewhere did something somehow. It's like no, 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 no. Maybe she just liked it. You know, has that ever crossed your mind? Maybe she's just like that. My mama is, she's out here being promiscuous because a man did something, and a man, touched her when she was a child. Oh, okay, you're right. Women who get touched as a child might be more promiscuous. There's a possibility. A girl who gets touched as a child could be promiscuous. She could become a lesbian, or she could become a person that don't want to be touched. And guess what? A woman that ain't been touched as a child can wind up promiscuous, a lesbian, or don't want to be touched. So what are we talking about? So are you going to ever decipher who's who? Because with misandry, it's every black man is the evil black man. Every one of us is the evil black man, except for you though. You the one, you're the good one, because somehow, you guys think because you talk like this and you really talk fast sometimes, you talk about these guys out here, these guys were out here doing the most, and these guys don't love these women, they don't treat these women right, they don't buy these women no lobster, no, they don't take these women to get Ruth and Chris, they don't do nothing for these women, they don't take care of these kids, they don't do nothing, nothing. You know, grown men, you know, you grown, you straight, but you kind of walk with a switch. You grown, you straight, but you kind of got, you know, yeah, that Valley girl. It is like, okay, where you from, dog? Where you from? Oh, I'm from St. Louis. So you from St. Louis? Yes. I don't know if I'm talking if one of these people that have been like this actually from St. Louis. I'm not taking a sneak shot at somebody, but you talk like that. Yeah, the people from St. Louis don't talk like that. So I want to know, how did you become a kind of person who wants to talk like this all the time and say what these men are not doing? Because basically what y'all sound like is a Valley girl mixed with a hotel poet. Because it's a stereotype. You guys who mimic feminists, you fit a stereotype too. You fit the stereotype. Queen sister of the earth. That's how it used to sound. You can do no wrong. You know, I love you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I heard that you cheated on your last 12 boyfriends, but that's because the black man don't know how to love you right. That's how it used to sound. Now, I mean, you guys tripping. And it's like, okay, here we go. But let me guess. At the end of the day, it's black men's fault that you sound like a broad. See, why you can't you can't disrespect my masculinity because there's different forms of masculinity. And me talking like a sassy little broad, it's just you're not able to comprehend my dialect. No, no. A grown man shouldn't talk like he got a tampon in. That's what I'm trying to say. You ain't got to be loud. You ain't got to be disrespectful. You ain't even got to have a super amount of bass in your voice because everybody don't have it. But I don't need you to talk like this. I don't need you to talk like you trying to sing, Keisha Cole or Aaliyah in the car. Like that's how I look at you guys. Y'all the guys who when I see them young guys on social media singing Keisha Cole, I used to think that I was we don't listen to Keisha Cole. We grown men, dog. Sorry, I'm sorry. We not ain't no black, no self-respecting black man is singing Keisha Cole or Aaliyah. I can't say black men ain't gonna sing a woman's music, you know, because I my preference is Anita Baker, but I be damned if we playing these games. You know, but y'all out here tripping, tripping, because hey, black men are evil. That you tell it, and I and I'm going I'm gonna have to do this one. I gotta do this. I notice a trend of a lot of you panderers and guys who are misandrous and you female, the feminist is a ventriloquist and you the dummy. I noticed a lot of you guys don't have kids. The vast majority of you guys aren't fathers. And why is that important? Because you know what it is. See, you want to talk all this men and evil men, this, but you ain't trying to have no babies with no black women. The same black women you caping for. How come you ain't trying to have a baby with them? How come you ain't trying to have a family with them? What's up, dog? Yeah, they gotta wear bonnets and paint. Yeah, yeah. How come you ain't trying to have kids? Because you know something that we all know. Just because you talk to her like this and say you understand and you love her and you love your family and you love your kids and you was a strong, independent black man, she gonna she gonna throw you under the bus too. The same feminist gonna throw you under the bus. So what you gonna do? So why are you talking all these talking points about what's going on with all these girls? Man, if y'all don't cut it out, I told you, man, I'm in my mid-40s. I know how this goes. Listen, just because a chick puts you in a friend zone, that don't mean you got to be a feminist. And here's just a bit of advice. Just a bit of advice. If she puts you in the friend zone, that don't mean you supposed to be effeminate too. You done lost your mind now. I'm a real black man. You, okay. So throwing black men under the bus is gonna make you look good in this black woman's eye, but you wearing a bonnet. I can be a provider and protector of what? Weave? What are you talking about? I try to make her feel comfortable. We sit in the car and we listen to SZA and Jasmine Sullivan, and we just don't like men. Okay, bruh, that ain't helping the situation. That's not help. You know, and I'm gonna take it there too with these new age misandry. Since dating, since you believe that the dating market is so trash and the black men are trash, you got a whole realm of feminist women you can take out on a date. You know, you always preach. Yeah, exactly. He said, black women, accept me and these kids. Can't do it. I can't do it, brother. You know, it's crazy. But why don't you take these girls out on a date? See, and this is the other part. The whole fantasy people have against black men being some some bad individual, you don't have a reality of the black women you're dealing with. Y'all don't know the difference between a good black woman and a horrible black woman because you just lump them all together. That's a problem. Because y'all say, you know, a black woman shouldn't be disrespected. A disrespectful black woman can can be disrespected. She's disrespectful. I'm sorry, you don't have to be the bigger person all the time. If she's disrespectful, don't disrespect her back then. Y'all don't talk about the women who are consummate cheaters. Y'all not talking about the women who constantly use people for money. for sex. You know what I'm saying? For favors, for jobs, to put them in a good spot. You said that's don't they like I'm about to boy, I'm about to just say the realest. So for you guys who are man haters, right? I want you to look at the black community and just ride down the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. You know why you see more black women who got into natural hair? It wasn't because of corporate America. It's because, you got to understand this just has a cycle. You know what? Let me break this down. There are women who are attractive and there are women who are unattractive. For all you feminists and you men who love feminists, there are black women who are attractive and there are black women who are unattractive, okay? They don't have the same struggle, just for the record. They don't. Black women who are unattractive have more of a struggle than black women who are attractive because they get more freebies than black women who are unattractive. See, black women who are attractive get freebies from their family, and they get freebies from their friends, and they get freebies from men who trying to date. Black women who are unattractive, they get freebies from their family. And every now and then, they get freebies from their friends. But both groups get freebies. The difference is black women who are unattractive live in reality about what's going on out in the world. Black women who are attractive, no clue what reality until they age out or age out of being attractive in the group that they want to be in, or they wind up being unattractive. That's it. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Kendra G, for her, Kendra G is a look, but Kendra G crazy as hell. Don't like all that stuff. Like a woman like Kendra G, she had her pick of the litter in her 20s. She had a pick of the litter in her 30s. Now she in her 40s. It's a different ball game in the dating market. The older you get, it's a different ball game. You could be fine, and you used to getting all this attention and men and gifts because you attractive in your 20s. You got it. You got everybody trying to get at you. In your 30s, that's when, contrary to popular belief, if you find in your 30s, that's when people get picky and they try to reach for the star. It's not necessarily people are falling off at first. It's that they didn't climb the social ladder and now they got more and more and more rich people. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, yeah. Watch out for Tawana Burho, bro. Uh, Now they get more and more, they shooting for the stars. But mid 30s, mid to late 30s, guys, it's not the women's looks, it's guys' patience. Guys are not simping in their 30s and like in their mid 30s and 40s. Guys are not playing these dumb games with these women. See, when I was young and I wanted to hit everything moving, I'll play these games with you. But by the time I got enough sex to go, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I can talk to somebody else. All the ones that were super fine had sex with some of them, didn't have sex with some of them. And that's why they would double back. Because look, I ain't got to deal with you. For what? You want to be with somebody like me. I already been with somebody like you. I just ain't been with you. That's all that is. They get older and the guys are tired of dealing with it. It's not their personalities are horrible. And when I say their personalities are horrible, you don't understand how unattractive it is to meet somebody in their 30s and 40s who is materialistic.
Oh, I need to go here. I need to shop here. I need to get my hair done here. I need to eat here. I need to be in this. I need to be on this scene and that scene. When you grown, like man, I'm not finna go out around all these people. I don't give a fuck about all these people. I got the house. I got the cars. I got the money. I'm not. I don't want to be around these mother. I want to do the stuff I want to do. I'm not going to a club to be in the scene. I'm not going to a game to be in the scene. I'm going because I wanted to go that night. I'm not going to a restaurant because I could be seen. Forget all that. Yeah, you about to get Age Misandry. Billy Porter the same way with his goofy. You know, he made himself look dumb. It's the same issue. It's the same thing. You wanted to let the world know he was gay. We knew he was gay. Let me wear a dress and a suit. Ooh, let me live in fantasy land. Isn't this great? Isn't this attractive? No, it's stupid. You too old to be making yourself look this stupid. And when people keep making themselves look stupid, the older they get, especially with the feminist ideology, the first thing they do is black men fault somehow. So what you got is when you hit a certain age, guys ain't the scapegoat no more. We're not your scapegoat. Oh, the reason I'm like this is because because the men in my life. You 37 years old. I ain't even trying to hear it. Mm-mm. Nope, ain't trying to hear it. You too old for that. You too old to keep blaming the men. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are the same way. I mean, not the guys. These girls, they just like the gay guy. The only difference is, and if you've been around, if you're around in society enough, you're gonna interact with, especially in the black community, you're gonna interact with straight black women, bisexual black women, um, lesbians, and you're gonna wind up running into gay dudes. And the vast majority, excuse me, as you get older, if they're single, all of them have one thing in common. They looking for a man. All of them had the same thing in common. They looking for a man. The straight women, you know, looking for a man. The bisexual women, they done dealt with too many women. The women were fun. What the heck? Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Bisexual women out here looking for a man because, you know, they get when they a girl in a relationship, they get all the freebies. But when they a guy in a relationship, they don't like it. And then the lesbians start going, you know what? I'm tired of fighting these bros. And now they looking for a man. And then the gay dudes, of course, they gay dudes. They looking for a man. Because somehow all the gay dudes can't get along. It's crazy. So guys looking at this stuff, and you got to understand that the reason I'm saying that is because as far as the feminism goes and the guys who, parrot feminists, it looks crazy to us grown men. Like, wait a minute. All y'all spent 10, 20 years hating men, and now all of y'all are sitting there looking for a man. This don't make no sense. You've been telling me that us black men have been terrible my whole adult life. So now you 40 years old and now you looking for a man? It don't make no sense. You telling me that black men have been abusive my whole life. Whether we're physically abusive, verbally abusive, mentally abusive, financially abusive. You know, you've been telling me that my whole adult life, and now you looking for a man? Oh, okay. You've been telling me, you know, that black men don't know how to love women properly. That's why you with women. And now, my whole adult life. And now all of a sudden, you looking for a man? It don't make sense. That, see now we don't want to get into the meat and potatoes of the situation. feminism is supposed to be a women having issues with the unfairness that men have brought into their lives. That's not what feminism is now, and that's not what you man haters are mad at. No, what feminism is now is women who used to be fine are bitter because they ain't, all of their perks are gone. Now you got to take yourself on vacation. Now you got to take yourself on a girls trip with other girls. Half of your girls ain't gonna pay for it. Now all three or four of y'all is 38 years old, and now y'all in a hotel room with queen size beds, and y'all sleeping together, and somebody will try to lick up on somebody. Oh, but we're not supposed to say that. Now y'all flying out of the country, because you overweight and you ain't trying to get yourself in shape. So now you flying to Jamaica in hopes that one of these Jamaican dudes, massage you in mud and knock, and beat the brakes off you because you ain't had a man in a while because you 60 pounds overweight. This is what feminism is now. Now, now you mad because you a woman and a mother, and these men aren't good, and these men don't take care of their children, and now your kids are over 18 and the child support stopped and all your frivolous spending because you didn't wasted their money on yourself for 18, 20 years. And now, hey, all the men in your life that you thought was going, oh well, I was getting this amount of money in child support, so I'm gonna just get a man and he gonna give me this amount of money like I was getting child support. Now that ain't happening, and now you bitter. That's what happened. That's what happened. Some of y'all were married, y'all got divorced, and y'all got to pay out, and y'all blew the payout. Y'all blew the money, and now you looking for a man. Now you looking for a man. Oh my bad. But now you put these dudes out here. Yeah, this is the reason why these men are no good because of this, because of that. And now you got these old, soft, you know, melted butter dudes out here talking this. Uh, Black women are so you know they're so hurt by these black men out here who don't do right by them. No, 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 no. You don't want to talk about how your mama's 50. Ask your mama how much money she spent on hairdos in the last 25 years. And ask your mama how much money she spent on you the last 25 years. I guarantee you lose that battle. My mama and dad was done all the time. $100 here, $50 there, $300 here, $500 there. I got to get my nails done too. $60 here, $60 there. Guess what? Your mom got on you for, man. You need too much. You trying to have too much for clothes. Your mama spent $300 on you for clothes for school, and she spent $3,000 on her hair in the same time period. But you know whose fault it is? Let me get it. It's the man's fault. Your mama closet full of clothes, full of shoes, full of accessories, 11 purses. Your ass ain't been to it. Your ass go get your haircut once a month. Well, guess whose fault it is? It's the man's fault. See, my daddy didn't take me. My daddy didn't do this, and my daddy didn't do. Oh, you know what your daddy did back in the day? Your daddy sent your mama the money, and your mama spent that money, and then told you your daddy didn't take care of you. Are we gonna not talk about that? Are we gonna not talk about that? Because black men. Mm-hmm. You know how I know? True story, ain't it? Not, not to mention, let's add something to it. Just a thought, since we're gonna do the misogyny thing. These black men who y'all felt was deadbeats, and they were mean men and evil men, and they cussed out your mama. Do you remember what they was cussing out your mama about? I bet you don't. But I can give you a quick rough draft. How she was spending money, not on you. That's one. And how she was getting in the way of your dad having a relationship with you. It was cussing out about both of them things. But you know all you remember? My dad cussed my mama. My dad is mean to my mama. These men are evil. Mm-mm, 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 mm. And you thought you was slick because every Christmas, or every time you got around your dad, you thought you was pimping him. Yeah, I gotta get some extra stuff. My dad don't take care of me. My mama said, make sure he do this, make sure he do that. Your dad already knew when he saw you was gonna be in need of something. Because he knew you didn't get the shit you needed from your mama when he gave her the money for it. Most of y'all had the same issue, boys and girls. You turn around 10, 11, 12, your daddy starts saying stuff. Listen, man, you know what? You know what? I'm tired of buying you stuff. Get the money, get it from your mama. I pay too much money in child support for you to keep asking me. But guess what? You forget about that part and let the feminists have their hand up your butt and just tell you these men are so bad. They're so evil. These black men are not good. These black men don't do right by nobody. Yep. So when y'all go down these roads, I just want you to know, like this is just it's new age misandry. Y'all hating black men for the wrong damn thing. Don't even make sense to me. So black men are bad, black men are evil. You a black man, you know, but you don't want to have no black kid with a black woman. You don't want to take black women out since black men are so bad and these black men ain't treating black women right. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take black women out and here's dinner on me since the black men are bad. Get your nails done on me because black men are bad. No, you ain't trying to do that. Let me watch your kids because the black men are bad. No, you ain't trying to do that. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. It's a setup. It's dumb. And like I said before, I need some receipts of all these bad men. Making it. Yeah. Whoo! That's a word right there. It, that's the word right there. So now it's our fault. This is all our fault because you can't. And I'm gonna say this before I go. Here's one of my gripes. Some of you guys swear to God y'all talk about man and manhood, and you ain't a man yet. You're not a man. You're not a man telling men that they're not men. Like you like I mean you almost uh uh Damon Wayans and David Allen Greer on A Living Color. You know what I mean? That when it was the two gay dudes doing the movies. You know, a man taking care of his black woman. That's not real. Hated it. Like, oh, okay, but let me tell you how to be a man. Yeah, I need you to put your bonnet on in a masculine way. Yeah, I need you to put your skinny jeans on. Yeah, I need you to put your man purse on and hope it's Louis Vuitton. Yeah, and treat her like a lady. Like, man, shut your punk ass up. I need you to cut the grass. I need you to teach your children and your family some principles. How about that? Teach them to have consequences to their actions. Can you do that? Nah, I can't do that. I know you can't. I know you can't. You know. So man, I'm gonna leave this at that, man. I appreciate all y'all. You know, stop talking to me excited. Yeah, I thought about a cooking show, man. I don't know, man. I'm just, hey, man, I'm just making content when I feel like it now, man. So I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it at this point, man. I want y'all to have a great night, man. You know, like, share, or whatever. Subscribe. Tell these effeminate dudes that I said it. You know, because it's true. So I'm hitting y'all with the outro. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young,
Yes, I'm
of
serious.
the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way. I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, cause when I walk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leap a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly. Okay.